A few weeks ago, we checked out part 1 of a Ninjago Iceberg meme I made. Part 1 had a lot of pretty obvious stuff you probably already knew, but part 2 is going to have some more obscure or relatively lesser known stuff. Did you know some people ship Morro and Harumi, or that there might be 17 realms instead of 16? All explained in the Ninjago Iceberg part 2. Hey guys, welcome back for part 2 of the Ninjago Iceberg. And here we go, here is the full iceberg. No more blur, here is the entire second half. And we're gonna pick up where we left off at tier 5. Oh god, the island numbering debate. An ongoing debate about whether the island or Seabound is season 14. This debate stems from the fact that it's unclear whether the island is a season. Some people cite the episodes as, you know what, it's a season. Other people say it is only 45 minutes, it's a special. For convenience, I call Seabound Season 15 on my channel, but I could definitely see both arguments. And if there was a correct answer, it would probably be that Seabound is Season 14. Anyways, Clutch powers free Nauticon. In Season 12's opening scene, we see Clutch holding Nauticon's teapot, then he goes off screen and an orange burst appears. This theory goes that Clutch accidentally freed Nauticon, and any appearance of Clutch after is actually just Nauticon in disguise. Season 12 LGBT couple. In the dancing episode, you can see these two women dancing together, which raised the question, is this a lesbian couple? I'd say probably yes. In fact, because of this, I'm pretty sure this episode got banned from Russia. Mr. E is Echo Zane. Originally, Mr. E was supposed to be Echo Zane, but this concept was scrapped because it would be too confusing and too hard to explain since Skybound was erased in the show's canon. The Woo Crew logo, a running Easter egg from season 6 to 10, where this logo would randomly appear in episodes, and I've shown you a few examples. And very similar to this is Woo's Chicken. This Easter egg started in season 11 and appears in all 5 Wild Brain installments. Wajira mentioned in season 8. Although we know Wajira from Seabound, she was first mentioned way back in season 8.
You know, there was an ancient tribe in Ninjago that worshipped a storm spirit called Wahira.
The 10-year documentary, a 3-hour fan-made documentary designed to celebrate the 10th anniversary, which interviewed the cast and creators of the show. They also had a community portion that, fun fact, I was actually in. And lastly, Woo's sudden Japanese accent.
Father would not want you to do this, brother.
There is actually a story here. Apparently this line was from an early audition by Paul Dobson, but it wasn't supposed to be used because it was very obviously stereotypical. Somehow, though, it did end up being used, and that's how we got this line. Moving on to Tier 6, the Skybound soundtrack. Season 6 only has one new soundtrack, the Nauticon Suite. The reason for this was because of some sort of contract issue with the composers, which only allowed them to produce this one piece of music. Because of this, the rest of the soundtrack is just soundtrack from previous seasons. Kalmar voice requests. Earlier this year, the voice actor for Prince Kalmar would take requests from fans and say stuff in Kalmar's voice. And there was some really wholesome stuff like this.
As king of the world, I can assure you that everything will be okay. And today is a good day.
But then there was also this.
Many a carrier squid has sent this request my way today, and I have this to say about sus and imposters. There are no imposters in my royal court, for I eliminate them immediately. I can spot an imposter a mile away.
And speaking of Seabound, there's a lot of reused content in this season. Not just lines, but entire scenes as well.
I can't hold it! I can't hold it! Nia! I love you. Nia! I love you.
We'll be back after a short message! We'll be back after a short message!
It is kind of strange, but it does make sense. This season, after all, was produced mostly at home during a pandemic. Ninjago's yin-yang map. You probably know that Ninjago's 2 islands look like a yin-yang symbol. But this symbol also has 2 contrasting points, and so does Ninjago's geography. The light and the dark would be the Temple of Light, obviously, but the dark and the light is actually not the Temple of Fortitude, but the Odi Temple from Season 8. And this is all official stuff. If you look at this official map, you can see that the center of Ninjago is Primeval's Eye and the Odi Temple, whereas the Temple of Fortitude and the city are at the coast. Graeme Palisade. This is the person who voiced the Ice Emperor, but it turns out this guy doesn't even exist. It was a fake name used by Brent Miller to hide the plot twist. Graeme is his middle name, and Palisade is the name of his old street. They tried this again in season 13 with the Skull Sorcerer, but by then the plot twist had already been leaked. Serpentine Trade. In 2012, this model of the Serpentine Trade was pictured, built by an actual LEGO designer. It's obviously based on the one from season 1, but I don't think it was ever supposed to be released. Maybe just a prototype. Rainbow Crosswalk. In Seabound's 11th episode, you can see what appears to be a rainbow crosswalk in the city. A Ninjago producer later confirmed this was intentional to represent the LGBT community. Lloyd DX. This non-canon minifigure came in a set with characters from Chiba, LEGO City, and superheroes. Air Ninjago. Last June, Ninjago fans spammed this hashtag on Cartoon Network's social media posts. Interestingly enough, not long after this started, it was revealed that Cartoon Network would finally be airing season 12. So, coincidence? Just Stop. In April 2020, a YouTuber named Just Stop made a video called Ninjago's Kinda Dumb. You see, the video itself only focused on season 1 and season 11, and it was intended to provoke fans. And that it definitely did. The comment section destroyed him, with some fair comments actually criticizing how poorly made the video was, but other comments just went overboard. I mean, you had people writing essays about how bad it was. Eventually, he did delete the video, but it has been re-uploaded. And lastly, the original season 7 ending. There is way too much to unpack here, but the overall idea is that we get to see the future, and the ninja in the future capture the time twins. This ending was designed so season 7 would be the series finale, but we can all be very grateful that this didn't happen. And now we get to the red text, Realm of Shadows, a Ninjago puppet show set after season 5, focusing on Klaus as he tries to corrupt Ninjago by using a special type of dragon. But this play is considered canon, however, there are a ton of inconsistencies. Like, a lot. For example, Cole isn't a ghost, Zayd isn't titanium. In my eyes, this isn't canon no matter what anyone says. Flame Master of Dragons. Another huge Cartoon Network fail. They uploaded this season 7 clip to their channel, but something is kind of off about the title.
You know, Floyd?
It's Lloyd.
Whatever.
Albrecht Studios is a scammer. Ninja Al is a Ninjago YouTuber who re-uploads episodes and has been credibly accused of scamming for over 2 years now. When The Island was airing in March, one of the YouTubers recording it didn't want his uploads to be re-uploaded by Al, so he added this audio clip to it.
Albrecht Studios is scammer.
Al fell right for the trap. He re-uploaded the video with the clip, basically saying on his own channel that he was a scammer. Of course, he soon realized his error and deleted the video, but the whole incident is pretty funny. Scott Gordon Decato, a Ninjago producer who especially helped create Skybound and Day of the Departed. Unfortunately, he passed away in 2018 in a car crash. Much of the audio was dedicated to him, and the character Scott for season 12 was also named after him. Realm number debate. There actually might be 17 realms instead of 16, because of this line.
Cloud Kingdom is just one more of the 16 realms that exist parallel to Ninjago.
Now, saying parallel to implies that Ninjago is not one of the 16 realms. So in total, there would be 17, counting Ninjago. This is really weird, because we're so used to calling it 16, but the evidence definitely says it's 17. Cole is colorblind. In season 13, Cole says this bizarre line about the skull of Hazatur.
Yeah, and he's got this evil magic skull that glows red, and these 2 huge wings, and...
Are you certain? And you're certain it wasn't green?
Because of this, some people think Cole may be colorblind, and Tommy Andresen himself weighed in as well. Fujibuff. In Seabound's 11th episode, you can see this muscular version of Fujibuff on the wall. This artwork was done by Ninjago artist Joshua Deck, who is well known for having made realistic versions of Ninjago posters. Vengebound, a fan-made follow-up season to Seabound, made by this guy named, or at least formerly named, Scuba General Vex. And the reason this is funny is because of this interaction in which Vex was getting blocked by a Ninjago producer for being homophobic. He tried to advertise Vengebound and get it added to the show, which is just too funny, and of course he got blocked. Last but not least, the royal family origins. In the short golden hour, you can see this scene where Wu hits the monastery wall and this very specific crack forms. Now, this crack looks a lot like a lotus, and not just any lotus, but the royal family symbol. Tommy Andresen confirmed that this was intentional, and this could explain the sudden emergence of the royal family after season 7. Somehow by creating this crack, Wu created the royal family, which is why we don't see them before season 8. This explanation is kinda cool, but also kinda dumb if you think about it. And here we are finally below the iceberg, Anaconda Klaus. There was a mobile Ninjago game called LEGO Ninjago Tournament, and one of the playable characters was Anaconda Klaus. But this is very cursed, because we never see Anaconda Klaus in the show, so I guess this is what he would look like. Ninjago Fried Chicken. In some episodes of Season 2, you can see this poster on the building. This is very clearly a reference to Kentucky Fried Chicken, a fast food chain in America and I guess across the world too. Morumi. 3 years ago, a Ninjago artist made a drawing of Morro and Harumi as a couple in the afterlife. Tabi Drace had actually responded to it, saying he ships it, and there's been a lot of Morumi fanfiction since then. Bad Nia images. There's a lot of really inappropriate Nia artwork and edits out there, and that is all I'm gonna say on this. Metalonian Prince. A few years ago, Paul Dobson and Brett Miller made this video, in which they acted out a fan story where Wu has computer trouble. The story ends off with this funny line, but instead of a Nigerian prince, it's a bit different.
Zane, come quick! Wonderful news! A Metalonian prince has offered to share his wealth with me, and all he needs is my credit card information.
Obama follows the Fold. Not the actual Fold account, but for some reason Barack Obama follows Dan Cassidy, who is the singer of the Fold's Twitter account. When asked about it, he jokingly said this. Nanakon's original name. Originally, Nanakon was supposed to be named Azad, A-Z-A-D, but there's a bit of an issue, because it turns out a real-life dictator has a very similar name. This caused the name change, and a lot of lines in Skybound had to be redone. Soundtracks spoil plot twists. If you listen closely to the show's music, sometimes that gives away a plot twist before it's supposed to be revealed. For example, if you thought that was cool, take a listen to this. And lastly for this iceberg, racist aspects of Ninjago. We've already talked about Wu's accent, but there's also other stereotypes in the show too, such as made up Asian sounding words like this.
Mooshu wooshu!
Also, some people have pointed out that even though Ninjago is an Asian-inspired show, barely any Asian creators work on the show. In no way is this trying to cancel the show, just honest criticism from some fans. And that marks an end to the Ninjago Iceberg saga. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please leave a like, subscribe, share with anyone and everyone you know. Share your thoughts on this video and my iceberg below, and I'll see you guys next time.